My king was born king. The Bible says he's a seven-way king. He's a king of the Jews. That's a racial king. He's a king of Israel. That's a national king. He's a king of righteousness. He's a king of the ages. He's a king of heaven. He's a king of glory. He's a king of kings, and he is the Lord of lords. Now that's my king. Well, I wonder if you know him. Do you know him? Don't try to mislead me. Do you know my king? David said the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. My king is the only one whom there's no means of measure can define his limitless love. No far-seeing telescope can bring into visibility the coastline of his shoulder supply. No barriers can hinder him from pouring out his blessing. Well, he's enduringly strong. He's entirely sincere. He's eternally steadfast. He's immortally graceful. He's imperially powerful. And he's impartially merciful. That's my king. He's God's son. He's a sinner's savior. He's the centerpiece of civilization. He stands alone in himself. He's august. He's unique. He's unparalleled. He's unprecedented. He's supreme. He's preeminent. Well, he's the loftiest idea in literature. He's the highest personality in philosophy. He's the supreme problem in high criticism. He's the fundamental doctrine of true theology. He's the cardinal necessity of spiritual religion. And that's my king. He's the miracle of the age. He's the superlative of everything good that you choose to call him. Well, he's the only one able to supply all of our needs simultaneously. He supplies strength for the weak. He's available for the tempted and the tried. He sympathizes and he saves. He's star of God and he guides. He heals the sick. He cleanses the lepers. He forgives sinners. He discharges debtors. He delivers the captives. He defends the feeble. He blesses the young. He serves the unfortunate. He regards the aged. He rewards the diligent. And he beautifies the meek. Do you know him? Well, my king is a key of knowledge. He's a wellspring of wisdom. He's a doorway of deliverance. He's a pathway of peace. He's a roadway of righteousness. He's a highway of holiness. He's a gateway of glory. He's a master of the mighty. He's a captain of the conquerors. He's the head of the heroes. He's the leader of the legislators. He's the overseer of the overcomers. He's the governor of governors. He's the prince of princes. He's the king of kings. And he's the Lord of lords. That's my king. Yeah. That's my king. My king. Yeah. His office is manifold.
Facts.
His promise is sure. His light is matchless. His
Ain't nobody
goodness
beating him.
is limitless. His mercy is everlasting. His love never changes. His word is enough.
See?
His grace is sufficient. His reign is righteous. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. Well, I wish I could describe him to you, but he's indescribable. He's indescribable. Yes. He's incomprehensible. He's invincible. He's irresistible. I'm trying to tell you, the heavens of heavens cannot contain him, let alone a man explaining him. You can't get him out of your mouth. You can't get him off of your hand. You can't outlive him, and you can't live without him. Well, Pharisees couldn't stand him, but they found out they couldn't stop him. Pilate couldn't find any fault in him. The witnesses couldn't get their testimonies to agree.
Lying,
And Herod couldn't kill him. Death couldn't handle him, and the grave couldn't hold him. That's my king. Yeah! He always has been, and he always will be. I'm talking about he had no predecessor, and he'll have no successor. There was nobody before him, and there'll be nobody after him. You can't impeach him, and he's not going to resign. That's right.
Self-made.
That's right. Time is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory. All the power belongs to my king. We around here talking about black power, and white power, and green power, but it's God's power. Thine is the power. And the glory. We finally get prestige and honor and glory for ourselves, but the glory is all his. Yes, thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever and ever and ever. How long is that? And ever and ever and ever and ever. And when you get through with all of the forever, then amen.
Yeah, amen. God bless y'all. Demons hate that I come on like that. They hate that little sermon. I love it. That's like the ultimate praise. They do it for Floyd Mayweather. Press one. They do it for anybody. You feel me? But the glory is all his. Press one. So before I even start my karaoke for the day, I always try to, give thanks to those who have sacrificed their lives for us to be here today. Press one. And not get caught up in the mathematical equations of nothing. All the Democrats, the new students, all of y'all stand up. God bless y'all in the bungalow. New students, God bless my supporters. Of course, we'll get to y'all in a minute. Press one. But I'd like to give a shout out to my man, Nipsey Hussle, of course, because that's what I do. You feel me? Love Nipsey, bro. Every day, bro. Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. That's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate. Choppers a throwaway. Hustle the whole way. That's why they follow me, huh? They think I know the way. Cause I take control of things. Ballin' the solo way. And if you pattern my trend, I make you my protege. Crossing that soldier race. Niggas don't know the days. Take you in back of the buildings. Make you expose your rage. Take you across the tracks. Make you explode the face. Now you official now. But you got a soul to save. I just been cooking that new. I'm about to drop in a few. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call me the truth. I ain't really trip on no credit. I just pay all of my dues. I just respected the game. Now my name all in the news. Triple on all of my moves. Quote me on this, got a lot more to prove. Remember I came in this bitch, fresh out the county with nothing to lose.
No, when I grind on, yeah. But I don't do this shit for nothing. No, not at all, yeah. But my money real, that you do. So I don't do this shit for nothing.
Nope.
Not at all. I told her I got
Hustling motor, babe. Hustling motor.
Not at all.
Hustling motor. Second verse. Back in this bitch like I never left.
Stand for some shit
That you never rap.
Passing through stages in life,
Through the ups and the downs like it's all just another test.
Live by the rules
Like a fucking ref. I got respect in 100 sets.
Too many chains, need
Another chest.
Playing no games if it wasn't chess. Come from that cloth that you couldn't stretch.
Couldn't.
Come from that circle you couldn't touch. Heavily pressured and under stress.
even though niggas ain't show up, I was a mess.
Honest attempt playing to the left.
Judge my nigga by their address.
Left us no option, what they expect? Only thing we knew for sure is the
Ain't it
basics.
sad?
Fuck living basic,
I'm taking risks. Fuck what they saying, I'm saying this.
Don't waste your time, it don't make you rich,
It don't mean nothing, so fuck 'em, let's make a grip. Double up, triple up, make assist. Ballin' so hard I could pay a bitch.
Lead to the lake if they wanna fish. Make sure them niggas around you stick to the script.
This should be written in stone. You should come visit my home.
Don't take my word.
Double check all of my ask him how Kevin get on, but fuck what you heard.
This for who walk down that road.
I will sell everything but my soul.
Straight off the curb. Real niggas rich as you nerds. Address the whole and not concerned. I don't do this for nothing. Nah.
The grind on, yeah. I don't do this for nothing. Oh, no. Not at all. Yeah. But my money real.
Hustling money.
Not at all. Oh, yeah. Nigga,
I don't do this shit for nothing. No. Not at all.
I told her I got.
Yeah. Oh. I don't do this shit for nothing.
Not at all.
Hustle and motivate. Yo,
Cut the bass
cut the fucking bass off. Talk to him.
Hustle and motivate.
All money in, nigga.
Hustle and motivate. Hustle and motivate.
And the Nipsey make me feel good around this motherfucker. I don't care what you think. Press what? Time to move on. Cabro University, patreon.com/KevGillsTV. Shout out to the people out there just mimicking my every move out there. I'm going to send you on a little joy ride out there bouncing around on the screen and shit. Niggas out there bumping around. Shout out to my man Angry Man for trying to pick it up. He should come be my DJ. Press 1. He should come be my DJ for karaoke night. Press 1. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna invite the little gnome, the little troll over. The little gnome. I'm gonna invite him over. Man, why don't you come DJ for me? And the what we call it, put up the lighting effects and all that. Yeah, really? Really? Yeah, bro. Down at the boom boom room. It was me, Paul, Press 1, down at the boom boom room, bro. Come on down, bro. You know, niggas ain't even African American. They have no idea what we on. You feel me? Yeah, boom boom room, come on. You really got here? I mean, bro. You gotta do what you're natural at. You gotta be who you are. You cannot. You feel me? No Diddy, but it's kind of like the LGB. Like you gotta be free, but not that type of way. But kinda in their, their psychology, kind of like their brand. We are who we are. Well, now you gotta be kind of like, well, you gotta be free, but not that damn free. But you gotta be free. That free is a crime in Russia. That's too much free. That's gonna be a crime in America. All you teachers, all the teachers that's been promoting all of this activity with these children, all the librarians will be seized. I just want to let y'all know, coming up in the future, because you're getting tomorrow news today. All the librarians will be arrested who been promoting these mass pornographic material all over the children's books. They're going down, bro. I just want to let y'all know that. It's anti-pedo and trafficking year right here at the row. But you say that every year, so what? So what? I just want to tell you, no mushroom, no opioid, none of that shit. Leave that for the space aliens and the Annunaki believers. Press 1. We've been kicking their ass up the street, making a name for ourselves up these YouTube streets. And it seems artificial intelligence is fighting back. It seems that ever since Kev discovered 0 point, everybody got something to say. Hey, and then, hey, now I know y'all gonna bug the fuck out. But look, ever since a nigga discovered 0 point, motherfucking patents started flying around this bitch. They wasn't paying attention in class. See, when you got money and you really ain't paying attention, you just cheating in the background, trying to figure it out, and really don't understand. This nigga understand the flower of life now. Press 1. So we got the Annunaki shouting out. The Annunaki man of no substance is now shouting out the guy who just discovered some things he's been working. This don't even make sense. The guy who just discovered and patented some things he was working on since he came out his mama womb. Praise It's just so retarded. I knew my artificial intelligence backup committee, aka science, and white people was going to clown the shit out this nonsense. Where I don't got to. Press 1. See, this is what happened when you an actor and you ain't making no money in Hollywood, so you come to YouTube and you coming down here doing Joe Rogan, and then the corporate money is lobbing these entertainers up at us and these people who just want us to believe in everything but God and that you are God, and that's what Jesus was talking about. And this one and that one. That's why I love my programs, my homeroom, my regular class, because it's all relevant. You feel me say it? What up, Jay? Good to see my moderators out there in full force, of course. What a time it is to be alive. I mean, ever since 0 point to hunt for Big Red, October. Oh, shit. I speak above people's heads at time. I'm awkward too. I'm like a southpaw, unorthodox southpaw. Because I'm like African American, urban born. That's like a superpower. If you know what the fuck I'm talking about, it's like the ultimate disguise. A nigga, a thief in the night. But yeah, they found the flower of life, and it's a new science, and Terrance Howard don't got it right, and everybody got it wrong. They been looking at mathematics wrong. It is making my white friends very upset in the science community. Press 1. And it's time to address all of these things. And from now on, science got to be based on history, historical fact, and biblical accounts as well. From now on, in my science. I'm upping the fucking ante out this bitch. We're upping the ante. You got to be based on these 3 components: the Word of God, our science to prove God exists. The backup is the backup. They thinking science is to disprove God. No, you're gonna prove it with your dumb ass, and that's what they've done. You even got people like Billy Carson, bugs looking self, praying Manson looking self. Talking about he don't believe in the God of the Bible, but he know the Anunnaki came from the Bible and all of this other stuff. So the Anunnaki is in Leo. He goes off into his own wonderland of psychosis. And I'm starting to believe these guys are nothing more than just they're trying to master their magician. They're like little guys. Listen, ladies, these are little twerps. You ever see that movie Harry Potter where they got to go to class to study and they these motherfuckers who hung out by the bungalows, who went to the best schools but hung out, they still smart, but they retarded smart. You feel me? Down syndrome mentality. Nothing against my people with actual Down syndrome. I mean, this is the reverse. This is reverse. This is my patented reverse psychosis of the Down syndrome gene, where actually people can look normal. Not Billy Carson, of course, but a case like this guy, but he suffers from a Down syndrome mind frame where he believes 1 times 1 equals. I'm gonna let him explain it. I'm gonna let him explain the math.
I'm gonna let the people. This shit is I can't believe what I'm hearing on the YouTube, and they have the nerves to troll me. People got the nerve to say I'm weird or some shit, bro. I'm just trying to explain some things. You feel me? See, they try to use him. They try to use him because he's a handsome brother with green eyes. He can get the women to believe in his nonsense by the smooth macking of his voice. Press one. And they thought they was going to sell that shit. They thought they was going to throw a hoodie on the nigga and was like, oh, this that handsome, good-looking African-American who was just complaining about white people in Hollywood during COVID. Press one. And how they went, press one, getting paid. Press one. Press one mania on these weird niggas. Unfucking believable. I had to pick the weirdest picture of Billy Carson. I didn't make that. That's his real face. That's not a filter. That's not a Bug's Life filter or nothing. The ones that your kids play. That's really his face. Press button. It's not a filter. That's how he looks. Shout out to y'all, man. But I gotta play these videos because Terrance Howard. I said Terrance Howard. Is that his name? Is that his name? Or should I just play the interview? Or should I just play the interview? This guy is not a genius. Let's see what this guy says about him. He's a very known YouTuber, I guess. I'm sitting back like, no, they didn't come out of nowhere patent some shit and say, see, you know what patents do? It just taught me, it helps the lie get backdated. Oh, I've been
more gullible now.
I've been studying this since I was 12 years old. Press what? This is one of my white friends, you guys. Don't be alarmed. I listen to white folk too. Press one. Just a cool Keanu Reeves Matrix looking motherfucker, don't he? Press one. Yeah, you don't want to fuck with this guy here, folk. If he move into your neighborhood, just let him. He's going to be the one with no socks on and shoes, earthing. And with his taekwondo bag in the background, and in the back, his fucking, these motherfuckers right here. You got to watch these. Have a good relationship with these dudes. Go dirt biking or something. Press one, change your life. But look, it says this guy is not a genius. I'll see what he's talking about. We'll see.
Ever have been in the history of this species.
Oh my God.
People are more gullible now than they ever have been in the history of this species. That is just a fact. People are throwing away any level of thinking and rationality just to believe in the most outlandish garbage imaginable and just falling victim to every scam you could ever possibly drum up. 3 days ago, the stupid man's genius, Terrance Howard, went on Joe Rogan's podcast, and Joe Rogan only picked up for 13 minutes out of this 3-hour Arkham Asylum debriefing. That's 13 minutes worth of speaking from Rogan here. The rest was Terrance Howard brainwashing idiots into thinking that he's some kind of enlightened genius. For almost a decade now, Terrance Howard has gone on this international mission to convince the world that teriology is the future. That's what he calls his logic language. Teriology.
Teriology. In a 2015 interview, Rolling Stone, Howard explained that he had formulated his own language.
Not like this. Not like this.
Which he called teriology. Oh my goodness. See? Google it. Time to say I told you, Google it. These people are crazy.
Let that just marinate in your noodles up here for a second. You're believing in a guy who's fucking preaching about teriology. So, there already exists so many people that have broken down everything Terrance Howard is wrong about in the teriology logic language system. I'm just going to focus on his biggest one. 1 times 1 equals 2. That is something that he has built his entire fucking identity around when it comes to his math. And for the first 9 years of this one-man traveling circus, everyone laughed at him because it's so outrageous. If we followed teriology, cars, phones, planes, medicine, literally everything that is keeping you alive right now would not exist because his logic language is fundamentally wrong. It's not up for interpretation. He is provably wrong in every possible measurement. And I want to dive into this.
And white folks been studying the Einstein theory of science. Science forever. From conspiracy theories to this one. And this, 1 times 1, the math of it all, if it don't make sense, man, you can't be teaching your children this stuff, y'all. If 1 plus 1 is 2, Will Smith did the same shit. Will Smith said, I believe 1 plus 1 can be whatever I want it to be. What?
Deeply because so many people are thinking that he is correct. They are throating his cock and balls, literally slobbering all over his meat because he went on Rogan and used words they didn't understand. So since they didn't understand the words, they took it as a sign that this guy is the fucking chosen one when it comes to math. I'm not even mad at Terrance Howard. I want to make that clear. I'm mad that a lot of people think Terrance Howard is right. I'm more
This
mad
is
at
what
the
happens when I'm not on the internet. This shit right here.
ability of people to just take this at face value without doing any level of thinking for themselves. It's so easy now for people to just throw away their own thoughts and just let people tell them what they should believe in. They're like, yep, that sounds right. I want to believe in that, so I will. It's so fucking frustrating because that
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I think it's only frustrating when you're upset that they don't think like you. You have to prove your points. You have to be able to disprove. You can't get mad. I don't get mad at Billy Carson and them. I think they being great at proving artwork and illegal in their own right, but not at this height in reality. Just like you have to prove these things, and nobody have lab coats or spaceships or nothing. You can't just take from the Bible to talk about the Annunaki or the giants that exist and then disprove the Bible with all of the jargon you coming with based off of the facts of Scripture. But this is insane. This is what I'm saying. Even when it comes to history, everybody chose to believe a specific type of history that ignores, unfortunately, the Black Holocaust here in America. Press 1. So in the same sense, you can't get mad. You have to provide the evidence that come with it. Now, if his math is wrong, it's wrong. I don't believe in you guys' perception of the science either. So to me, it's all entertaining to show people how fast they can pop up with a quantum nigga. Press 1. Boy, how fast they can pop up with a quantified nigga now. Now, how hard it is to find a quantified nigga. This nigga came out of nowhere, Bocat. You feel me? Ali, the nigga came out of nowhere. What the fuck is you talking about? Oh, yeah, man. Where did you learn this? Ever since can remember. Actually, I can remember myself coming out the womb. See? They don't ever want to say where they get the shit from. They just... I got it from out. I remember when I was born. That's that brother polite shit. I remember because when I was born. You remember coming out the womb? Yeah, I'm a genius. So all y'all wrong. Press 1. This guy is hilarious. But I got to see this.
So far back. Now, before I even dive deep into this rabbit hole, I want to tackle his biggest one that he has always put on the boxing gloves and fought for the honor of, which is 1 times 1 equaling 2. He even made his own YouTube video here explaining how 1 times 1 equals 2, and it...
Hashtag 54, bro. Danielson. You just cannot make things up, Danielson. This nigga. Sir. what's up with these fucking actors, bro? Just the thought of it alone, I said, I got to play this shit on my show. This is retarded. So he teaching 1 times 1 is what? Press 1. You would think that we would over. Nah, I ain't graduating shit. I ain't graduating shit on this earth. One thing I know, nigga. I'm not as smart as I am. Woo. Could you imagine being sent to the... Ooh. You going to fucking... You go... How did you get... What school? What school you went to make this assumption? That's what happens when the teacher tell you to stand up and be like, all right, DeJuan Marquise Wilson, you ain't did nothing in school. You gonna be able to get your ass right. Show everybody in school why we putting a cap and gown on your goofy ass. We got a question, and this one gonna be a doozy, Marquise. Come on. Well, one time. It took that made Choke No Joke seem like a fucking genius. Joke No Joke went fucking from caveman to fucking Albert Einstein in the fucking bungalows because Terrance Howard has just changed our shit up. Bruh, what the fuck? Did he read the elementary? Did he get the chart book? 1 + 1 is 2, and all of the 9 times 9 is 81 at least. Nigga, if one thing you remember in school is that dumbass graph with all the numbers breaking it down, bro, and you got YouTube, you can go to China on YouTube and see how they break down 1 times 1 as well. Woo! Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Woo! Okay, Terrance. For the final answer, this is for $250 million fucking dollars. You bet not. You motherfucking bet not get this motherfucking shit wrong. And finally fueled $3 million. These niggas bet not. All right, Terrance. What is 1 times 1? Oh, hell, he bet not, bro. Huddle up. You bet not, nigga. That's cold, bro. You can't be on my team at the math competition, bro. I'm cool at the bungalow math.
He even made his own YouTube video here explaining how 1 times 1 equals 2. And admittedly, if you set aside everything that he's wrong about, he's still fucking wrong. He doesn't even come close to accidentally tickling something correct. He is fishing around in the dark looking for a urinal to piss on, but he keeps pissing on the floor because he can't find it. He doesn't decide to just turn the lights on. He wants to live in this absolute, void of logic. I am going to demonstrate why 1 times 1 can never equal 2. A 3rd grader could do this. And I'm going
I told you. My man with the wobbly association logo on the back of his head. He's absolutely correct, man. He's absolutely correct. He's absolutely. Shit.
I'm going to break it down in a way that no matter how stupid you are and no matter how much you want to believe in this concept, it can't work. In no dimension in the multiverse could this ever be a real possibility. So when you're saying times, when you're using multiplication here, you're talking about the groups of something. So 1 group of 1 is 1. But let's get more physical with it. And I'm going to do it using a physical object here. We're going to get real, kinetic with it. And I'm going to use the GamerSupps Moist Waifu Cup. So this is me on the cup, big titty anime girl. It's available at GamerSupps.
Oh, excellent merch. Oh, that was great plug to yourself.
This just seemed like a natural segue into mentioning that while I demonstrate this. Now let's put this concept
Great
into practice
marketing.
in a real-world scenario. You catch me at the grocery store, you say, "Pardon me, Charles, looking extraordinarily breedable as ever today. I have this box of moist Gamer Supps waifu cups. Come take a peek." And I march on over and I say, "By Jove, look at that. There is a single moist waifu shaker cup in that box. There is one box with one moist Gamer Supps cup in it. One box with one cup. I pick that up. I would have one shaker cup. 1 times 1 equals 1. That's just how it works. There's not any scenario where all of a sudden this waifu shaker cup is going to start budding like it's fucking SpongeBob and I'll end up with 2 somehow. That's not how it works. I have one box that has one cup in it. You come up to me again, this time it's at
One
a Sam
product.
Ash music store, I'm fucking blowing
That's
away
it.
the trumpet. You say, "Charles, check out these moist Gamer Supps waifu shaker cups I have in these boxes." I say, "Oh, how many cups are per box?" You say, "There's 2 waifu shaker cups in these boxes," and I have 2 boxes.
2 boxes.
2 boxes of 2 waifu shaker cups. That's 4 total waifu shaker cups. 2 times 2. This shouldn't be a hard thing for people.
Now, I know that's a hard concept for the bungalows. They didn't even know it was that easy. There is, bro. Where are we going, black community? Where are we going from space aliens to new probabilities and math equations that you pulling directly out of thin air? Where are we going? Oh, this is what we got to bring this up. I know what you're thinking. Why would you bring this up right now? Because you can be doing something constructive instead of doing nothing. And thinking Terrance Howard is some form of new person with a new idea, and it's not. Other people have tried to make 1 times 1 whatever they want it to be, like Will Smith said. It's just a reason to keep you psychologically out of your mind, what makes you insane and incompetent in history and in my law class. Press 1, because that's what I teach. Law. You feel me? Makes you incompetent immediately. If you carrying on the concept that leads to you being out of your mind and a lunatic, then you're the federal government has all legal authority over you because you're incompetent. And what makes this even worse, a lot of us is black in law. And you walk around saying, not only is you black, you saying I'm an incompetent dead person in the state of peril. And I need a governor to hold ward over my legal affairs because I can't stop sticking this fork in the electrical socket. If you know, man, I'm not talking regular no more, bro. Oh my goodness. I'm not doing it. The electrical side, you can't stop doing bad things. So this is why you in a bad situation. And you looking at the world from inside the dream world. You need to drop the dream world. That's what you need to do by understanding this stuff. It's not hard. You have to be it. That's all. You got to be that. You got to be exactly who you're supposed to be. Nobody can help you with that. They can give you all the knowledge in the world. If not, it's easy to conform your mind back into Annunaki. Press 1. You'll go back into the community, and these people will be preaching all type of stuff that they learned from Nazi German Jews in the 1900s. Buffalo Soldiers Orthodox Russian, all of them. We don't found them on the last show. So, this has all happened because the men of righteousness from all nations ain't stood up for truth. That's why. Ain't no money can solve this problem. Complaining about it can't solve these issues. It's the stuff like he talking about. Propaganda and actors. And this whole scientific third eye to me, community, all of them, including some probably shit he believe in. All of it is coup d'etat, overthrow of supreme authority. That's all. And because you still hear, like Tupac said, and in the womb, you're like, black folk is like in the belly of the beast, in the womb of the mechanical mother. And the black child is delivered into a lifestyle of hell and death and destruction. And you can do that by what you can see it out in the world by what you identify with. This is how you can explain it to people as well. So if you black, just bring out the black. What does it mean? You got to inspire others. Just open the book. Open some books. Keep a book on you. Keep a thumbnail on you. A phone. Something. Practice. Sharpen iron with people who just don't know nothing. And then grow from there like, yeah, got you. You'll see the fruits of your works come back. 1 or 2, 3, you're getting better. You're going to be more confident. I don't even have a reason to get on YouTube. I just do it now. You know what I'm saying? At first, I thought it was like I had to do something. I ain't got to do nothing. It's just, YouTube, this shit happens. 1 time, 1 and 2. Come on. And not to make fun of anybody, but this is, these are the people who made fun of me. These motherfuckers all went to school and graduated to be dumb and just, what? You're supposed to be progressing in life. Y'all went to these big universities just to figure out 1 time 1 isn't 2 from YouTubers? No, this is bigger than that. This is like new sci-fi way of thinking. People are just not as sleep and dumb as they thought. If you teach it to people and they see it, that's all you need. You don't got to keep wasting time on them. I do this because I like Billy Carson and Terrance Howard. I like to see what artificial intelligence throws out in the world or what the people behind the scenes throw out. Oh, you're up. And Terrance tries to sell this like he's some, I don't know if he's trying out for a movie role. He might be. A lot of these actors, that's what they do. And then they come down and have you fooled. They're bringing you into the dream world and shit.
People to grasp. These aren't hard to understand, but when you have someone like Terrance Howard preaching just completely incorrect things, it's able to mislead people who want to believe in something different, that want to have this big paradigm shift in mathematics, which I don't really get. Why do you want mathematics to change? The only reason you're alive right now is because of that. You would have liked...
Actually, it's not, but all y'all got some weird perspective. But I'm finna watch the Terrance Howard. Why not? I would like to know exactly what he said. Me personally, that's what I'm finna do. I'm finna put it on right now. So this is a beautiful time to be alive. All this new science and all of these new theories, and I want to see exactly what the fuck does that got to do with Black history. The genocide. I want you to listen to these dudes. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Oh, my goodness. Let's go.
Stomach every day at 6 o'clock at night. Born, I remember being circumcised. I remember that everybody had the similar experience, but
Look at his shirt. Look at his. already see it, man. Ah, Terrance. Look at his shirt, y'all. He trying to come in like the mathematician and shit. He said, yeah. Damn.
I didn't come into this world the way everybody else does, I don't think.
Not like this. Not like this.
If y'all don't stop,
I used to think that everybody had the similar experience, but like if I asked you what was your first memory in life, what would it be?
I don't think I know.
My first memory was almost like when you're dreaming and you're falling.
oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. What is that on his?
2, 1, boom, and we're live. First of all, cheers.
Wait a minute.
Because the stuff I had learned.
What's that on his chest, first of all? Let me see what this is. Let me see what this is. Let me bring this little pendant up. What's this? This gonna give you this gonna give it all away. What's this? Y'all don't see it, do you? Y'all don't even see it. Now, since you see it now you know. Okay, now compare mannerisms, speech pattern, zone, whams. Let's start over. Let's start the fuck over. This is great.
All of those things. Then ultimately, a different name for it. I didn't know it was my hand. But I knew that everybody had the similar experience. But like if I asked you what was your first memory in life, what would it be?
What did Cat Williams say? How many books Cat Williams read? Okay.
I think I know.
Okay.
My first memory was almost like when you're dreaming and you're falling and you hit the bottom and you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first memory, but I didn't wake up here. I was inside my mother's womb. And I was about maybe 6 months inside the womb. And I'm like, okay, don't forget I'm here. Okay. Don't forget. You go to sleep. You wake up again. Now something's moving in front of you. And you're like, oh, that's my friend. But I had a different name for it. I didn't know it was my hand. But I knew I had a title for it.
Oh, this is insane. I'm looking. You know what? That's why I'm going to love my little conspiracy show. Because I'm kind of thinking about something. My bad. Let me turn this up. Let me turn this. I don't know why it's not playing loud, but we're going to get it. How about this?
You remember coming out?
remember being compressed, and you want to panic, but
How's
you're
that?
flooded with like some serotonin and dopamine.
I'm glad y'all noticed the wheel of chaos. I'm glad y'all noticed the wheel of chaos though, without even. Oh, excuse me. Let me turn this down. Without even trying. So what I'm gonna do is since you can hear it from my phone, I'll just play it from my phone. How's that? How's that?
During the first year over at Pratt, and they at the time I think it was like 108 elements, and I told the
How's that?
teacher, the professor, about the relationship between hydrogen on the spectrometer and carbon and silicon and cobalt, and I was like, it's the same exact color, same tone, just doubled in each octave. And he was like, no, each just doubled.
There it is. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Let me get back to it.
Like, no, each element is the same. And
So we're gonna do it like this.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe.
come into this world the way everybody else
Okay,
does.
here we go.
I used to think that everybody had the similar experience, but like if I asked you what was your first memory in life, what would it be?
I don't think I know.
My first memory.
Him and Cat Williams are damn near identical. One science, both of them geniuses. Both of them geniuses. So he came into the world as what? He don't even believe he came into the world normal.
Was come into this world the way everybody else does, I don't think. I used to think that everybody had the similar experience, but like if I asked you what was your first memory in life, what would it be?
I don't think I know.
My first memory was almost like when you're dreaming and you're falling and you hit the bottom and you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first memory, but I didn't wake up here. I was inside my mother's womb.
What? You hear that, Tracy? You hear that, Tracy? Maybe that's why it looked like Cat Williams was wearing all that makeup. What? Nigga, you woke up where? You was just dropped off and woke up there? Shoo. Okay.
And I was about maybe 6 months inside the womb. And I'm like, okay, don't forget I'm here. Okay. Don't forget,
He's
don't
doing the
forget.
same thing Cat Williams did. In fact, we can play it.
Don't forget. You go to sleep. You wake up again. Now something's moving in front of you. And you're like, oh, that's my friend. But I had a different name for it. I didn't know it was my hand. But I knew I had a title for it. Go back to sleep. All of those things. Then ultimately you get ready to come out. I remember all of that.
You remember coming out?
Remember being compressed, and you want to panic, but you're flooded with like some serotonin and dopamine to where you feel relaxed. You go right back to sleep. You remember being born. I remember being circumcised. I remember the whole nine. And the proof of it was when my wife, Mira, that you just met, when she was 6 months pregnant with my son, Kieran.
Cat Williams was up there doing the same shit. And then Annunaki. Y'all motherfuckers are getting played by actors. Y'all motherfuckers is getting played by actors. Terrance Howard, they probably ain't said nothing about Weinstein, but Cat did. Perm, pimping, actor, many variation, personality, shifting, perception, persona. Both of you guys are geniuses, right? This is just interesting in somebody like me. This is the shit that make me go, I want to study more.
Wanted to prove to her what I was talking about. So I put a light on her stomach every day at 6 o'clock at night.
Wait a minute.
And I would move that
So you
light
about to prove it. How you going to
on
prove it?
dopamine to where you feel relaxed. You
So
go right
prove
back
it.
to sleep. And you remember being born. I remember being circumcised. I remember the whole nine. And the proof of it was when my wife, Mira, that you just met, when she was 6 months pregnant with my son, Kieran, I wanted to prove to her what I was talking about. So I put a light on her stomach every day at 6 o'clock at night. And I would move that light back and forth, and I'd put a song on for a week straight. On Saturday, after a week, I didn't put the light there, and I didn't do the music. And he pushed up on her stomach. And then when I put the light there, he started following the light. And for the next 2 months, we did this every night, and he would go all the way around her belly, back and forth, always pushing on it. You know, I didn't understand at the time.
Bruh.
That maybe I've interfered with the development process, and maybe he's wrapped the cord around his neck. I shouldn't have done all of this, but it came out wonderful and fine. And this little boy, first thing he wanted to do is see light. He loved lights from that early stage, and I can ask him the square root of 2, the square root of 5, the square root of that, the square root of pi, and he will run it off.
Not like this. Not like this.
But the math is wrong. But if you program your child with our math, the square root of this and this one and this one, and our math is wrong,
run it off. But he's just like, his personality is like Forrest Gump, you know, to where he's just loving and wants everybody to be around him and care. But for me, that's where it started, in there. And then when I was about 5 years old, I had another dream. And the room filled up with like this fluid, a dark fluid.
we were talking about a memory. Now we talking about a dream. Press 1. We was talking about a memory. Now we talking about another dream. We was talking about a memory. Now we're talking about, hold on.
And I could see the ripples of it moving around. And there was a being there. And I remember being walked through that fluid with him. And I was trying to look up at him, and I couldn't turn my head to look at him. And he had his hand straight. I knew his voice, but I did not know who it was, but I felt confident and comfortable. And as we moved along this dark blue fluid path, with like chartreuse covering the, you know how when you look into a pool and you see the ripples, and if you're at the bottom of the pool, you'll see the ripples overlapping. That's what it looked like. And then when we got to the end of it, he said to me, if you could have anything in the world, what would it be? Now, we were really poor. My dad had just gotten out of prison, you know, for manslaughter. I didn't have much, but I said to him, I want to know how everything works. And at that moment,
Go ahead, T Mac.
He used his left hand and he opened up the door. And there was this mansion, big brown doors. And inside of it was this crystalline flowers, big crystalline flowers, like a giant, like 5 feet across. And every time I tried to see his face, he would reach in and hand me another shape. And I was so fascinated with the shapes because they didn't look like the platonic solids. They didn't look like anything I'd ever seen before.
He 5 years old. I'm fucking dead.
And he would hand me these shapes, and each shape was different and amazing. And I woke up from that dream. But after that moment, anytime something strange would happen in a dream, I had the powers of inception. Anytime I would be naked at school, I would say, I'm not naked. I must be dreaming. And immediately I would run out of the school or run out of wherever I was, and I would find that mansion again. And I had access to all the knowledge. The proof of it is the 97 patents that I have now.
Huh? Family, I can't.
The proof of it is...
I just want to give a shout out to my supporters. That's what I do want to do. Teresa, Timothy Pittman, Taj with a personalized note. Shout out to you, champion. Checking in, Deborah. Shout out to you. And shout out to Robman713, whoever you are in this world. My main man, Jason Harris, in the world as well. Shout out to you fellas out here and ladies for supporting this broadcast. Terrance Howard is just hilarious.
Is the industries that I've innovated. It's like waking up, having a dream that you have a diamond in your hand, and out of nowhere, you wake up and you're hoping you're holding it, and you try and hold it, and it's gone when you wake up. But the proof is all the stuff that I've been able to do now.
So all these thoughts are from the time you were a baby. These are not things that you've learned.
No, that was a dream.
These are things that you had in your...
So he said Joe want to be sincere. He said, these aren't things that you've learned. These are things that you've had in your mind since you was a baby. Even worse than that, Joe. Even worse than that. The first one was a memory. The rest of them was dreams. He's not naked. This is just a dream. Whoop-de-doo. Mickey Mouse. Heidi-ho! Let me go find the secret mansion with the double doors. I can't believe I woke up here. This is insane, bro. I can't believe I woke up here.
Mind from the time you were born.
From before that time, because I remembered that I had been someplace else before. Now, what's interesting...
In the park, on the beach, you and me, what about...
Yeah. Okay, the Annunaki...
thoughts. These...
Do you remember? Back in the park, press 1, I can remember. When the lonely one, I can remember. Do you remember us holding hands? Press 1. It goes on and on to the back of my mind. Do you remember the time? Oh, why we fell in love. Do you remember the time when we first met, girl? Oh, why? That's one. This nigga act like we ain't no Michael Jackson, bro. In the park, on the beach, you and me, his me, Chris one. I love Mike, bro. Terrance. I love him. I would hate if he's right. I feel like an asshole. Why did he do this? It's just like, bruh.
And turned my head to look at him, and he had his hand straight. I knew his voice through that fluid with him. And there was a being there. And I remember being walked through that fluid with him. And I was trying to look up at him, and I couldn't turn my head to look at him. And he had his hand straight. I knew his voice, but I did not know who it was, but I felt confident and comfortable. And as we...
That was Jesus. Like this. We all know the picture, nigga. He did what? Describe him again.
And he had his hand straight. I knew his voice, but I did not know who it was, but I felt confident and comfortable. And as we moved along this dark blue fluid path with like chartreuse covering the, you know how when you look into a pool and you see the ripples, and if you're at the bottom of the pool, you'll see the ripples overlapping. That's what it looked like. And then when we got to the end of it, he said to me, if you could have anything in the world, what would it be? Now, we were really poor. My dad had just gotten out of prison, you know, for manslaughter.
Nigga, this sound like a deal with Satan. Nigga, damn.
I didn't have much, but I said to him, I want to know how everything works. And at that moment, he used his left hand and he opened up the door. And there was this mansion, big brown doors. And inside of it was this crystalline flowers, big crystalline flowers, like a giant, like 5 feet across. And every time I tried to see his face, he would reach in and hand me another shape. And I was so fascinated with the shapes because they didn't look like the platonic solids. They didn't look like anything I'd ever seen before.
This nigga watched that children movie.
And he would hand me these shapes.
A children's liberace movie. So it gave you different shapes and telegraphs and telegrams and come on, bro. We know what that is, bro.
It's different and amazing. And I woke up from that dream. But after that moment, anytime something strange would happen in a dream, I had the powers of inception. Anytime I would be naked at school, I would say, I'm not naked. I must be dreaming. And immediately I would run out of the school or run out of wherever I was, and I would find that mansion again. And I had access to all the knowledge. The proof of it is the 97 patents that I have now.
Okay.
The proof of it is the industries that I've innovated. It's like waking up, having a dream that you have a diamond in your hand, and out of nowhere, you wake up and you're hoping you're holding it, and you try and hold it, and it's gone when you wake up. But the proof is all the stuff that I've been able to do now.
So all these thoughts are from the time you were a baby. These are not things that you've learned. These are things that you had in your mind from the time you were born.
From before that time, because I remembered that I had been someplace else before. Now, what's interesting, that voice that I heard, that's my voice now. So it was like my greater self was leading me through and periodically would show up again in other dreams. And I went off and became an actor because my mother wanted my little brother to be an actor. And I thought if I became an actor, you know, I would get my mother's affection. It wasn't until my mother was dying and I'm talking to her, and she told me the reason that she was babying Antonio was because he had asthma, and my father always had questioned whether it was his son or not because he looked so much like her family and didn't look so much like him. And I realized, my God, if I had followed my proper course, I could have saved my mother, because the knowledge that I had, you know, I had the grand unified field equation. I had already put that together, and at 7, 8, I was working with these things, and then I went through all of the hell that I had to go through. Being accused of domestic violence, all of those things, and I thought it was a curse at the time, but it was really removing me from advancing down the wrong path.
Whoa!
And during that period of time,
I don't know what the fuck. Take this. the world probably like, Terrance, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? I'm over here like, where the fuck did you get this storyline from, bruh? Yes, he is a sellout. No, we're not talking about that. No, you're not a student here. We're not talking about, who is that? Roderick? Oh, Roderick is the student. My bad, Roderick. No, fuck a sellout, Roderick. Roderick, you don't know. Where the fuck does he get this storyline from? Which makes him the smart. Remember, all of this is what's making him. How can I say this?
Diddy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crazy things that's going on.
I was working with
the Christ is the title he's looking for. That's how. This is what?
these things, and then I went through all of the hell that I had to go through. Being accused of domestic violence, all of those things, and I thought it was a curse at the time, but it was really removing me from advancing down the wrong path. And during that period of time, I started waking up in my dreams again. And I start going back into that palace.
Oh, Terrance.
And I remembered all of these things, and I started patenting them. As I moved along, I got in touch with Michael Hudak. He was the president of the University of Science and Philosophy, because I was studying a guy named John Keeley, you know, who had worked with frequency back in the 1870s, had built the first what do they call it? Self-sustaining engine. Back in 1872, but he wouldn't tell people how he built it. And I was watching a program with Del Pons, and somebody in the audience said, "Doesn't John Keeley's work remind you a lot of Walter Russell?" And a bell went on. And so I got in touch with the University of Science and Philosophy after watching some stuff about Walter Russell, and Michael Hudak, you know, took me under his wing and started talking to me. But he was more into the philosophy and the love that Walter was talking about. But my intention was to rebuild the periodic table, you know, build a new periodic table.
Nigga.
Because the stuff I had learned in college. You know, I went
At Carroll University. What college, bro? Your college don't even exist. You making things up. What college you went to? What college? Ain't a college in America that'll teach you that, bro. Hey, you know the TVA gonna come get your ass. Your ass is a shape-shifting time fucking bum. He's a time variant. First of all, this motherfucker shifting shit around. Nigga, you supposed to be 9 years old. Nigga, what the fuck? You ain't even know how you got to middle school. What did you do in school? What, nigga? Unfucking believable.
to school for chemical engineering.
And I just ordered my lunch. So I will be eating lunch on the air. Thank you guys. I don't care. Go ahead.
Year over at Pratt. And they, at the time, I think it was like 108 elements. And I told the teacher, the professor, about the relationship between hydrogen on the spectrometer and carbon and silicon and cobalt. And I was like, it's the same exact color, same tone, just doubled in each octave. And he was like, no, each element is the same element and it will always be that element. And I was like, you don't see the relationship. So I left school and I was going to spend 40 years rebuilding the periodic table. And I found out that Walter Russell had already did that. And he did it based upon the natural curvature of everything.
And when you say rebuild the periodic table, what do you mean specifically?
Well, the way the periodic table is laid out, the periodic table they have now,
Let's see.
it looks like a
Pull up
box.
an image of it.
It looks like a straight box.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't show the relationship that between every element, there's two
All right, here's the periodic table.
you'll see hydrogen sitting all the way over there by itself, but they don't show that hydrogen has the same tone as carbon.
What do you mean by tone?
Same tone, same key of E. Same key of E. 40.5 hertz. The next one would be like 81 hertz. You go to silicone, it will double up and would be 162 hertz. You'll go to cobalt, and it'll be 324 hertz. It's
when a nigga give
in
me,
that base. If you were to take
when a nigga gives me directions like this in L.A., I just keep moving forward. Hey, brother, can you show me how to get to Vernon and Crenshaw, please, sir?
He did that, and he did it based upon the natural
Like
curvature.
you can bounce
of
around,
everything.
go
And when you
around
say
that way,
rebuild the periodic
and
table,
come back around and make a left, and then double back. You will see two Negroes on the corner in wheelchairs arguing. Keep going straight. 1 block, they make a left. I'm on that street. Look on the left side of the street. Lord have mercy.
you mean specifically?
Well, the way the periodic table is laid out, the periodic table they have now,
Let's see
it
a
looks
periodic
it looks
table.
like a
Pull up
box.
an image of it.
It looks like a straight box.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't show the relationship that between every element, there's two no.
All right, here's the periodic table.
Kev, he sounds
You'll
like
see
Alex,
hydrogen sitting all the way over there by itself.
He sounds like who? Alex Gray? I don't know who that is. We gonna get to it. We gonna get to it. He sounds like Alex Gray. Send me a video.
But they don't show that hydrogen has the same tone as carbon.
What do you mean by tone?
Oh,
For me, it's very memorable, my first DMT experience, because I had a dream earlier in the week that I was working on a painting called Transfiguration. And in this dream, there was a figure with its arms upraised, and it was hovering over the earth and had entered into a ball of light. And I liked the composition. It was very simple, and I made a note about it. And then a couple days later, I tried my first dose of DMT. And as I was...
You know, that's what he sounds like him, because this is that school of thought. That's why. Alex Gray is the Jeffrey Dahmer character I told you all about. The religion of Jeffrey Dahmer and how to break down the atom. Remember? You remember. The House of Mirrors B from Texas brought up. That religious construct, that's where he from. That's why they sound like him. So I was like, man, that dude, Alex Gray, sure looked like Jeffrey Dahmer. Turns out, he looked exactly like Jeffrey Dahmer. You know Jeffrey Dahmer, the one that ate people or something? That had all the bodies in the house? Doing science projects and all type of goofy little things. People like Alex Gray. And then Alex Gray is the religious structure of Jeffrey Dahmer, which is the total destruction of Adam. He ate him. Ingest him. One drop of blood, remember? Come on, G. So his mentality is coming from what was just said in my chat room. This is the Alex Gray speech patterns. Now we really gotta get back to that. They're having these dreams, and remember, Billy Carson said he had an incident with his children, not on the podcast that he just went on. He did his own conversation where he took opioids. He tells the same story a month ago on somebody else's podcast. I'm not going to get to it. But without he took DMTs and drugs, So I'm realizing, this is deep. This is Satan, the religion. This is the agent of chaos, all over again. See where I said I'm gonna take my time, Tracy? Tracy say, Kev, you are the champion of the world. Tracy, I am the champion. Press 1, we are champion. We are the champions. Press 1. We're the champions because we caught them. That's all. This religious structure is demonic. It is the mind, and he talks like Cat Williams because they're all from the same agent of chaos, Alex Gray, which is in his younger years will be Jeffrey Dahmer, in my opinion. He looked just like him. I can't even front. That's him. That'd be him in my world. You're going to jail just because you fit the description. And Press 1, how you get out? Who got you out here forming religions of eating people? No, bro. Psychosis, DMT. Next thing you're going to be doing is cannibalism and all type of bad things, bro. Don't do, you know the story.
Light and color, sound and tone, matter and shape. I put, I sent over Walter Russell's.
I was trying to get to that. That's what.
Yeah, it's Walter Russell's periodic table that he put together. Now you compare that to what we Mendeleev's periodic table. You'll compare Walter Russell's to it, and you'll see something completely different. It's unwinding.
Whoa.
It's unwinding. And you see there's a relationship that hydrogen.
So you had figured this out at a young age?
I had already seen this. This was all inside of that palace. I had access to it, and I knew the relationship.
You saw this in dreams?
I saw it as a circle. Everything was a full circle laid out, and each area was just expanding, like wrapping a rag around your hand. The first wrap, it's so tight. The very first wrap is so tight. That's the first one that Walter Russell did, yeah. But go back to the wiggly one. This is how I saw it more so, but as a vortex. But you'll see there's a relationship between hydrogen, carbon, silicon, cobalt, rhodium. They're all bonded. They're all sit as the middle point between two noble gases. So those things don't really exist. It's only one substance. Now the problem is the first thing that we're able to perceive is hydrogen. That's the first visible element, because before it is too dense for us to perceive it. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But as you reach into the next octave, the carbon octave, and they call that a bisexual tone, because the carbon has two tones to it. It has a negative side and a positive side. The part where lithium behaves, lithium is contractive. Beryllium is contractive. Boron is contractive. But the moment you get to carbon, you balance it out. It gets to a perfect balance of plus and minus 4. So it's a double tone. Then nitrogen is minus 3,1. Minus 3, oxygen is minus 2, fluorine is minus 1. Now the balance of this, all of those are mates. Fluorine and lithium naturally mate. If you have lithium bonded with
3 plus 2.
Oh my goodness, man.
any other element,
5.
at the moment that fluorine is introduced, it will break all bonds violently so it can bond with fluorine. Same thing with beryllium and oxygen. That's why it said, and what they've tried to keep from us, if you want to break water into its component parts of hydrogen and oxygen, all you have to do is introduce beryllium or the sound of beryllium. And oxygen will violently break away from any other thing, even hydrogen, to bond with that beryllium. And now you can have it just with the frequency of it. And since the hydrogen is smaller, hydrogen will, that waveform, you can send that up into one tube, the oxygen into another tube, without using electrolysis, without using heat. It was just through frequency. And the proof of it, if you go back up just a little bit higher, we know the relationship between sodium and chlorine. They're equal and opposite mates. If you get out of the pool and you got chlorine and you're itching from the chlorine, all you have to do is get some real salt and rub that on your skin, and it'll turn right into an oil. It naturally neutralizes each other. So everything has an equal and opposite mate. The lithium becomes sodium in the next octave, doubles the same exact tone, just doubled and wider. The sodium becomes potassium in the next octave, widens up. The reason that arsenic kills us is because our DNA has nitrogen and it has phosphorus in it.
He just got a bunch of stuff. He just got a bunch of stuff for how to destroy Adam. So that makes you flammable, black person.
The lithium becomes sodium in the next octave, doubles the same exact tone, just doubled.
It's still the science of fusion. Look, fusion without, it's still the science of the destruction of carbon. It's still Germanic. It's still deadly. Being able to see it just what? Add black people to the tube? Now look. I mean, what do you want under that? So what? You discovered a new way how to genocide black folk? What is this? What does this have to do with anything? It looked like you went to one of their little classes, sat down, they trained your retarded ass.
The moment
you
that
develop one of them,
is introduced.
You develop one of those young pharaoh. Press one. And now y'all know the fabric of it. What you gonna do with this? The fuck is you about to do with this? Meaning what? What is it that you're looking for credit for?
It will break all bonds violently so it can bond with fluorine. Same thing with beryllium and oxygen. That's why it said, and what they've tried to keep from us, if you want to break water into its component parts of hydrogen and oxygen, all you have to do is introduce beryllium or the sound of beryllium. And oxygen will violently break away from any other thing, even hydrogen.
This is why people don't like science. This is why people didn't really understand what the fuck they were talking about. This is why.
Bond with that beryllium. And now you can have it just with the frequency of it. And since the hydrogen is smaller, hydrogen will, that waveform, you can send that up into one tube, the oxygen into another tube, without using electrolysis, without using heat. It was just through frequency. And the proof of it, if you go back up just a little bit higher, we know the relationship between sodium and chlorine. They're equal and opposite mates. If you get out of the pool and you got chlorine and you're itching from the chlorine, all you have to do is get some real salt and rub that.
Okay.
But you'll see that instead of following the natural curvature of these 64 circles overlapping, they averaged the space where they met. And they invented straight lines.
Why did they do that?
Because they believed that the world was flat. They believed the world was flat at the time. Of these 64 circles over.
That don't even make sense. I'm gonna show y'all. That's crazy. They just say things. 29, 25.
Overlapping, they averaged the space where they met, and they invented straight lines.
Why did they do that?
Because they believed that the world was flat.
Okay, So if they invented because they thought the world was flat, why is it giving off a three-dimensional object? Why? These are the same shapes that this nigga said the being gave him.
They believed the world was flat at the time. And the church promoted. Pythagorean theorem comes off of...
What do you mean the church promoted? You see that? You see that look? What's the name? Like, man, you're good. You on some other shit. Look at that.
cube, a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
So they wanted to use all of these intertwining circles and create straight lines.
Because that's how they thought everything came down to, straight lines. They thought the world was flat. And I was like, oh my goodness. They didn't open the flower properly. So the next one would be the icosahedron.
Now, the flower of life, it's very, very old. The concept is very old. What was the origin of the concept?
It's the old.
This is insane.
Symbol known to mankind. It's believed that
it's very, very old. The concept is very old. What was the origin of the concept?
It's the oldest symbol known to mankind. It's believed that it was Anki, the brother of Enlil, if you go by...
Billy Carson and this guy here. It's like a podcast between Charleston White and Charleston White. Press what? Leo and Inky again. Sumerian text. Here we go. Here we go.
Emerald
Sumerian
tablets.
text.
Yeah, Sumerian text. That was the one that created mankind. Because if you look at mankind, and there's a point I want to make with it. I want you to stay on the book. Go back to go to 134 on the book. And this is what that other gentleman being told me to do. He said, why don't you just take the pieces that make up the flower and put them together based on universal ratios. So if once you're able to pull it up.
164?
Page 134. 134 in the book. So this is the juxtapose of the mistake they made. Yep, just tap right onto that. Yep, just tap on it. Now, this was made by David Johnson, one of our programmers, Argos Fuel. So if you go to the far left and tap on that, I took 4 of those triangles. And wow. And you can scroll around. This is what happens when 4 bubbles meet. This is the negative space where they can't touch each other. This is hydrogen. And as I was saying, electricity is always trying to get to the center of that triangle. But it gets pushed out. And now you see it has 4 contractive poles, which is...
Not like this. Not like this.
Insane, bruh. I'm out of here, but this is crazy.
Electric poles. Just go around it from like horizontally, yeah. It has 4 contractive poles because electricity is seeking a higher pressure condition and forcing it in, where magnetism is seeking a lower pressure condition and spun out. So the vortices, those tips, that's the magnetic.
Oh my goodness.
Field, that's where they begin. but it has an equal attractor and an equal amount of repulsion. So if you go to what happens when 8 bubbles meet, they gave me the patents to that. I called that the tetrian.
So this is the negative space in between 8 bubbles.
8 bubbles. This is a negative space where 8 bubbles meet, and you can scroll around.
And this is ignored when they're concentrating on straight lines.
Completely, because if you look from the top.
So this is one of your patents. The bubbles in between, the space in between bubble. This is what I've been gearing up for. I finally get to somewhere. This nigga done patented the space in between the bubbles. Boy, when we finally make up something to do with something with the stuff and space in between bubbles, we'll let you know. What does this do? What? The space in between bubbles. You like Disney? Yeah. How you gonna patent the Disney ball in 3-dimensional space and time? Fool. Press 1. That's why it's Disney. Y'all keep bringing up Disney, but it's the Disney bubble. Okay, you got it. Okay, but how he gonna? That's retarded.
I haven't violated anything. It fits perfectly inside of there. But this is the negative space where 8 bubbles meet. But you'll notice it has 8 contractive poles, but it only has 6 magnetic poles, 6 vortices. So it has a greater electrical potential than a repulsion. So maybe this is the strong nuclear force, and the previous one was the weak nuclear force. So I was like, okay. I called.
So you want to make a double?
My son. So I was like, what happens when 6 bubbles meet? If you'll go
so
to
you want to make a new bomb or something? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Destroy everybody? The world is at war, and your ass over here, you know the atom bomb of hydrogen? We can do this. What are you doing?
Right in the center. Now you see that it has these huge bubbles, fast moving, but there's 6 strong spheres that's going around this, but the greater attractor has grabbed the 2 weaker attractors. And this looks just like a photon, and guess what? It has 30 poles. What is the speed of light? 299,752,400 something. They rounded off to 300 million kilometers per second squared. But if you look at it from the top, you'll see.
Joe Rogan is like, I don't understand nothing he talking about. I don't see nothing.
That I haven't violated anything. This looks like what happens in nature. So I was like, okay, so they gave me the patents to this, but you'll see that there's 6 unaccounted electrical poles to it. So I was like, what happens when 12 bubbles meet if you go to the one right next to it? Another stable structure that we basically see in nature, but there's 4 unaccounted electrical poles to it.
Oh.
4 spin around it. You can count those 4. You'll see 1 at the bottom and 3 on those sides.
What is this?
This is the basis of crystallization, laws of crystallization that forms. And you can go to the last one. I was like, what happens when 24 bubbles meet? This is the negative space. If you pull to a horizontal on it, this is a negative space where 24 bubbles meet.
Oh.
This is where you cannot distinguish this from the background because all of the electrical potential has been accounted for. This would be the Bose-Einstein condensate.
Sir, it's the Star of David, bro. Everybody.
Where something becomes indistinguishable.
It's the interchangeable
from the fabric of space itself.
Pyramids.
The final state of matter. Something, and the proof of this, the platonic solids, they have a thing called discrete symmetry. You can put the cubes together, maybe you can put the dodecahedrons together, but you can't put all of them together. But you can take the wave conjugations right here, and they form supersymmetrical systems where everything aligns. So there's a site that James sent over to you, and this will be the final thing, and then I'll be quiet for a second. But because this is the final, this right here.
Talk.
Now these are other
they
sculptures.
Talk so
I've
much.
built. There's a video.
They talk so much that you forget what you're gonna say.
And you'll see that flower. If you'll pop it up from Terry's linchpins that he sent you, you'll see, and this is one of 4 supersymmetrical systems that I patented. And the reason I patented it was because when Walter Russell put his stuff up, you have to just go down a little bit, and we're going to get to gravity. Not that one. We're going to get to gravity in a second. Not that one. We're not even there yet. There, Tetratarian wave conjugations. Now, these are all of those systems put together. This is where 12 bubbles meet, the Aubrians. Mm-hmm. And then I put 5 of them together, and they make these natural starfish. But then when I put 10 of them together...
Tartaria.
They lay themselves out, and they predict all distribution of matter within the electric field. And you can see where 6 bubbles meet as you get to a higher point. On it, those where 6 bubbles are meeting, still fitting perfectly where the 12 bubbles are meeting, and where the 4 and where the 8. That's a super symmetrical system. I put 12, if I put 20 of those where 6 bubbles meet, the Antonians, they make a natural dodecahedron that's naturally curved. If I take where the 12 bubbles meet, that's where I made the linchpin from, ultimately from some of those pieces you got right there, that all shape of it. So that was one of the first things. But when Walter Russell came out with his book and he introduced his periodic table, he watched as different people went up and collected Nobel Prizes for deuterium, for tritium, for all these things that he had discovered. And I was like, okay, let me wait until the patents are granted before I'll talk about it, so that they won't be able to stop.
So when was the patents granted? It's something that's simple. When was the patents granted for this thing you got at the house, multi-brush? When you was 9, 10, 11? Or 2 years ago?
What makes more sense? Where they invented straight lines in opening the flower, or where you actually take the individual pieces of the flower and put it together based on universal ratios? Which one do you think is how the givers of that knowledge intended for us to use it?
Well, it makes sense because you're accounting for the negative space and the straight lines are not.
Bingo.
Yeah, that it must be something. And so, and then these are all physical representations that you've created?
Yep.
That are all of those things?
Same things. That's the Aubrian right there.
How is this received? Like when you talk to people about this?
Oh, man, they first, because I hadn't shown them, I introduced it with, let's talk about our fundamentals are a little bit off. There are no straight lines.
Right.
So I reached out to Neil deGrasse Tyson. I saw him at an event up front, at Fox. And he was like, hey, man, yeah, I'd love for you to come on my show, do my radio, do my TV thing. I would love that. I was like, yeah, but I've got something I want to introduce to you. And it was only 36 pages. It was a treatise. And I told him it was controversial. And I sent him over the 36-page thing that had the wave conjugations in it. But I started it off with 1 × 1 = 2. And he went in on my treatise, wrote.
That don't make sense. All this is based off of 1 × 1 = 2. Great. First of all, the math is wrong, so the whole foundation of the argument is like give or take, right and wrong today, tomorrow wrong, right tomorrow, 45% right, 30%, it's just wrong. The mathematics is off. And yeah, you can build anything you want. You can patent anything that you create. Cool. But do something. Build the machine. Don't build the fucking Reynolds wrap filled with toothpicks. Each one of our inventions. And you can do that if you want to. Apply that. What use is that? What are you doing? Okay, what's the basis of it? I mean, it looks good. It's cool. All right, great.
Redlined everything you attacked that I had talked about. Walter Russell and Victor Schauberger and John Keeley and Tesla as the people that I looked up to. Mm-hmm. He attacked them.
Wait a minute.
But then he started attacking, the 1 × 1 = 2.
How did he attack them?
Oh, he was because I asked him. I said, under what conditions? I said it's illogical where the square root of a number added to itself will equal more than that number squared. But that's what happens with the square root of 2. That's what happens with most of the numbers. I was like, how is it that multiplication, if it means to make more and increase in number, how is 1 × 1 = 1 part of the multiplication table? Now, I understand that if you're seeing it one time.
Right.
But we call that once. But the moment that you add the times in there, that multiplicative indicator, that means there's more than 1. So now each equation is supposed to be...
Well, that's 1 × 1 is 1, 1 × 2 is whatever that is, and then follow up the following number and the following number and the following number. That's where the multiplier is applied. Because if you have 1 of 1, it's only 1. If listen to my theory, if I buy a baseball card and it's 1 of 1, Babe Ruth. You know what that mean? That mean there's only 1 × 1 of these. I press 1, there ain't no more. That's it. There's not 2 of them. Press 1. 1 of 1 doesn't mean 2. If that's the case, we got a lot of suing to do. Press does not mean 2.
Balance, that equal sign is supposed to show that there's a balance between these 2 numbers over here and a balance on this 1 over here. What happened to the other 1 in this equation? It didn't equate. And then I took the square root of that number. I took the square root of 2 because all this started in 3rd grade. I was arguing.
So he took the square root of 2, which does not apply, which he learned in 3rd grade. Let me go get my phone.
My teacher, because we're talking about the square root of 100. Oh my God!
Is that your phone?
Yeah, that's my detox thing. I'm supposed to detox right now.
How do you detox? You detox on a timer? What do you do?
There's my wife got me these things, because I'm supposed to take this.
What is that?
And
Pure Body Extract.
And there's another one.
Advanced Daily Cellular Detox. What's in this? Oh boy! I
and this too.
What's in this stuff?
Just things to counteract the natural the metals that we have in our bodies that wear us out.
And you just take these periodically throughout the day on a timer?
I got to do it now. I got to do it.
Okay.
Now. I take a dropper, part of that dropper, and then 4 sprays, and it removes the parasites from your system. Like oil of oregano, like using oil of oregano instead of using antibiotics.
And have you felt an effect?
Yes.
Yeah? What do you feel when you take this stuff?
I used to have really thick, dark circles under my eyes. That's gone away in the last 6 months. I've been using that. My skin, I'm 55 years old. I'm 55 years old and I smoke. Do I look like I'm 55
No,
years
you don't.
old?
You look great. And do you think that's because of this?
I think, well, I'm going to show you a picture of what I used to look like when my wife met me. And I don't know if you could. She'll be mad if I throw this up, but she's a beautiful one. But this is what I looked like when my wife met me. I was 256 pounds.
Were you eating differently?
I was, well, now I'm intermittent fasting. I follow her routine, but she turned me from that into this. It's like she shined up.
Yeah, you look
within me.
about 15 years younger now.
Yeah, and that's because of her. I still smoke my cigarettes.
Why do you do that?
I'm a crackhead. I don't know. Everybody has to have some vice. Like Alan Watts said, you got to have some balance.
Press one. You heard that? I'm a crackhead. I'm an opioid. Told you. What I tell y'all? He lost the weight. How you lose weight, y'all? I just came back in here. I see y'all tripping. He's a crackhead. I told you, Billy Carson, all these niggas is rockheads. Hey, listen. What did I tell them? Ali, their religion is the religion of crackheads. I told you they developed these religions. I told y'all, Art cracking up. How the fuck did I get this nail pendant tail on a donkey on this one too? A straight crackhead. I told y'all I'm from South Central. I've taken many buses. At late at night downtown LA. I know crackhead religion, bro. These ain't smart people y'all following on the internet. These are crackheads. Trust me. I know crackheads. I give you money. So how Billy and Carson and all these people crackhead and opioid users and don't want to give free change to the poor man sitting outside, his fellow brethren? How? This whole time. You got to be a crackhead to laugh with Joe Rogan, who's seen Planet of the Apes in real life when he went to an African-American movie theater. I'm sorry. I spit out my cheesecake. They cold for this racist shit, man. I wasn't even ready for that one. How you sitting up there with a science of a monkey in front of the man who went to see Planet of the Apes in real life? He gonna bring y'all monkey asses up there. You're equivalent to Brick Baby on No Jumper. That nigga Brick Baby like, I got a job. I got to stay here, man. I'm sticking with it. I'm fucking dead over here. Did you see? Hey, Marley, in the hip hop community, they will fucking hate me because I'm just the truth, nigga. That's why I ain't did shit. And that's why I just been taking my time, Marley. I ain't gonna lie, because I clown these niggas so hard. They'll be mad as hell at me. They swear they ain't watching. This man said, I'm a crackhead. But I'm red, bet. See, y'all don't think, crack is whack. Whitney Houston told you that. Whitney Houston was on cocaine and getting crack. You niggas is on hard drugs. My Uber driver pulled up, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all, he probably listening right now. This nigga pulled up and said, Kev Gills from fucking Coffee and Kush TV. Yep, I'm live right now. Press one. Tune in right now. I'm live. What you doing? The fuck is you doing ordering food and I'm the pickup man? That's right. You never know, bro. Fuck with me. You know, I love the life that I live. It's so pure and honest. That's facts. I just live a right life. Just try to be right. And that's all. He like, man, what the hell is you doing over here? Live. Live and direct. Yeah, but man, you can't beat crackheads telling y'all these stories. Y'all want to sit back? That's why Billy Carson is annoyed with us. He's annoyed because they know that their foundation, Annunaki and all of this, you have to be on opioids to believe this. That's why, who is this? One of my moderators brought up the Jeffrey Dahmer guy. Because that's the religion construct.
Of beneficence and rascality to you.
We have a fan in here, by the way. If you wanted to smoke in here, you're more than welcome to.
I don't trust people, that walk around, people get so offended by gurus a lot of times and yogis because they think they're these calm and passive people. And when they get angry, they're like, oh, that was a directed anger. That was a purposeful anger to wake you up to something. And then they find out they have a girlfriend. They find out that they smoke and they're like, oh,
Vices.
This is a lie.
Right.
But that's the real person. That's what I loved about Alan Watts. He had a wife. And he had his mistresses. He ended up dying with one of his girlfriend and his wife, off in his little place. But he spoke the truth. He was honest. Life is about the give and take. There's a balance in there,
To be human is to be flawed.
It's to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's part of the beauty of us. And it's part of why we create. I don't think you create from a perfect place of enlightenment. I think part of the chaos of being a human being is the beauty of the creation. It's why.
Oh my goodness! Do you hear the speech patterns in this bullshit?
Why we create. The most fucked up people, the best artists are some of the most fucked up people.
Mr. Gray, some of the best artists are some of the most fucked up people. Remember, who did I just say? Jeffrey Dahmer. But what does he do? He's an artist as well. He was actually making art of bodies. If you don't know that, this just sounds like regular shit. But if you then he's actually very excited about bigging up these dark people who use live necromancy as corpses for artwork. Black people was being murdered for Jeffrey Dahmer's artwork. Not only missing kids but they know how to sell it. You feel me? To an unaware audience, which means they told you the truth. You're just not paying attention.
Favorite musicians, my favorite comedians, my favorite actors.
Yep.
Almost all of them are fucked up.
Yeah, my uncle used to call it, he said, if you don't get any flower to grow unless you throw some shit on it.
So back to Neil deGrasse Tyson and his critique of Tesla.
So he threw shit on he was like, well, Tesla stuff worked, but Tesla was never really respected and out there, and he wanted me to support Bohr or shrink.
Let me ask a question. This is how weird people are. So now you got a person who believes in spacecrafts and the niggas can go out of space. But if the math is wrong, what math do they use to go out of space? What math do they use to navigate the seas and end up where they supposed to be, fool? You telling me I ain't going 60 miles an hour? I'm doing 120? Boy, you should have told me that. I'm pulling up to the SRTs and the Hellcats now. Buckle up, fellas. Thanks to this fool, I'm doing doubly now. Come on, man.
Or Feynman or any of those people, and I'm looking at the Feynman diagrams. I'm like, you made all these things up. You're basically doing the Mr. Spock thing. If you want to find the answer to something, then you cancel out all the possibilities, all other possibilities, and you root it down to one thing. So that means going through the whole universe to answer one question. And that's the problem with probability. That's the problem with Heisenberg uncertainty. That's the problem with Schrodinger. All of those were just these probabilities because they had taken the ether out. They forgot the electromagnetic wave.
Mm-hmm.
It had to have a medium in which it followed on. It had to have something in which it was moving on.
They don't exist in isolation.
No, they do not. And it
So space don't exist. B from Texas, you on the air. What up, champ?
Hey, what's going on, Kel? This B calling in, man. I had to call in on this one. Break away. Hey, this dude tripping. Hey, this man, this the same guy who a couple months ago was saying that he got cheated out of his movie money. You can't count, bro. Can't count. This man said he got 12,000 for doing Hustle and Flow. You can't count, bro. Like what's going on? We can't even listen to you.
Yeah,
bro.
They told him you got to do your math like this to see it.
This math ain't math.
No, they said 1 times 1 is 24,000.
He said, "Oh,
yeah, because it's mathematics. If it was addition, it would have been this, which is much less than 1 times 1. So now you would want that multiplier. The way he breaking this shit down is how his accountant and them Hollywood executives sold his movie role contracts. Go ahead.
For real, that's the way I explained it. Like, yeah, bro. Like, I do addition on mine, but yours, you got to multiply. This boy is cheated out his money. That's not, and then you using big words and taking stuff from all these people that on some scientific stuff. What to do with Neil deGrasse? He ain't done nothing. He doing the same thing. They just talking.
Right. They're just using
talking,
other
bro.
people's theories and to make themselves feel like they did experiments by saying we did this in the early 1900s. What are you doing?
For real, bro. Like,
where your
why you trying to be the smart guy? Exactly. Like, it's like trying to want to be the smart guy. You playing a role. I can see him reading the script. He just good at reading it. That's what he does. That's his profession. Like, I'm like, and all of them go to Joe Rogan. This is what they got to display. Hey, I'm smart here. I'm going to display my monkey mind and talk about psychedelic drugs. That's all I see.
So that's what he got. He got monkey mind.
Yes, sir. Monkey mind, straight up. And then you talking about these same belief systems. You talk about gurus, yogis. Then you talking about space exploration, and so all of this is false. It's pseudo. He a pseudoscience.
There it is. He's a pseudoscientist.
Yes, sir. I'm like, man, wow, bro. So you got us on it. We can hear. We can hear these boys. Each one come up. We can hear y'all. It's not smart to us. It's monkey minded.
What would make these dudes? Because it's like we're finding out now the destruction of Adam. He's not saying anything. So turning people crystalline and all this, and they're pushing him like he's got the patent to this. These patents didn't arise when he was 5 and 6 when he was thinking about this shit. Those patents just came up. They have yet to be, and nobody has ever patented the space in between bubbles.
Yeah, what is that? And then another thing, I'm like, he one of them partners. If y'all talking, you gotta tell him, man, bro, stop lying. It's just too much, bro. Just stop lying, bro. Like, you talking about your first memory? I remember when I was inside my mother's womb. Bro, stop lying, man. Like, chill out, man.
He remembered many lifetimes.
Yeah, because they wrote it on the script. That is it. And you caught him. First he was talking about what he remembered, and now you talk about what you dreamed.
See?
You out here astro projecting.
See? He's having temporal. He's astro projecting, y'all. See?
Straight up, bro. You had a psychedelic trip, and you thought you was back in your mama womb. Damn. Wow, bro.
You ever see them people
I'm like, man,
on the corners and they just be stuck in a little ball or just stuck? They in a mama womb.
You tripping? They're like, Terrance, come back. This boy over here talking about one time winning too. This boy doing math problems and stuff tripping. Oh man, bro.
I ain't never seen no shit like. I never thought I never thought it'd come to this.
I'm like, man, we would think they hold some sort of intelligence if they just be quiet, bro. Like, dang, you just made yourself look crazy, man.
Yeah, because
real crazy.
Because everybody laughing. Like, no.
And what's one time? That's it. This is elementary school. One time anything is the number, bro. Like, it's the rule. One time. I didn't even want to tell him the answer. You fucked up and told him the answer. I was just like, whatever the answer is. One time, two, one time. I'm not telling these niggas nothing. Because obviously, if he don't know one time one, why tell him one time three? For real.
My man said anything times one is the number.
Exactly. We learned this out the mother's womb. Straight up. Like, bro, what's wrong with you?
Bro, they taught this
we learned
in
this.
Elmo's world, bro.
For real, bro. We was doing math problems to get stickers, man. Like, I know all the little kids, they parents listening to this, they try, Mama, that's wrong. Daddy, that's wrong. He wrong. One time one is not. They laughing. The kids laughing. Like, man, listen to. He wrong. He's not wrong. Miss Johnson gonna get him an L.
Mama, I don't want Dad help my homework. Mom, Dad always wrong.
For real, I'm failing listening to you, man. I'm not listening to you no more, man. Got me failing.
What's wrong, little girl? What's wrong, daughter? The teacher yell at me for getting wrong answers. Let me see. And who gave you these answers? Who taught you this? Dad. I don't want Dad to help me with no more elementary school math problems because he's getting me in trouble, Mom. That's messed up.
That's real messed up, man. Like, dang, bro. You can't get the foundation of multiplication right. Don't multiply nothing. You ain't gonna be able to multiply nothing else. Ain't nothing else gonna work, bro.
If you can't get 1 times 1 right, don't nothing else. How you built a whole scientific basis off of 1 times 1 equals 2?
I wouldn't even say it that. He probably should have been like, "Oh, I'm tripping. I'm high right now." You know what I mean? Like, I'm high right now. I'm tripping. I'm thinking too hard. I need to stay out these mushrooms, these psychedelics. They got me tripping out here. Dang, bro. I don't see, like, other nations getting up there with that stuff. Like, it seemed like...
Oh, it's just
like,
us.
dang. It's just us getting up here, like, talking, like sounding like you smart is the thing now.
And Cat Williams too. It's almost like Joe Rogan is training them to be monkeys.
Oh, they already trained. They out here exercising their minds right now.
So Joe Rogan is really just a circus trainer.
That's what it seemed like. That's why he made the comment you said, and had no backlash. Like, man, bro, like, how I'm gonna be cool with that? I'm gonna come to your show after you just disrespecting my people like that. Nah, bro. This ain't the first time Joe Rogan made some comments like that. And y'all going up here playing monkey mind for the whole world, like talking like you intelligent.
Look what they believe. Look what they believe. 1 × 1 is 2. Y'all worried about Chinese kids putting up, they making guns in the classroom while y'all kids is dancing around. Y'all adults out here is the embarrassment. 1 × 1 = 2. When all the kids around America know that's wrong. You cannot formulate a scientific idea out of a wrong equation.
It ain't gonna never work, ever. And then he talking about the elemental chart, like you said and showed us, it's breaking down Adam. All these elements come from Adam.
Yeah.
And the inner side is how y'all know, and that's what that chart is. All these people that he was talking about are Bavarians.
Yes.
Straight up.
Yes.
So you got your you getting your science and your knowledge basis from Bavarians. The very people who genocided our people.
Facts.
So
and that's who they love to get their science from. The ones who genocided them out. And that's what Joe Rogan is, a Bavarian.
Yes, sir.
So Joe Rogan
For
is
real.
a Bavarian. Yeah. Look at him. So that's how he can
definitely.
Yep, that's why he can do things and say things like that. You know who else? A Bavarian? Adam 22.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All is straight Bavarian, bro. And these people sitting up here rocking with this and ready to kill their brother at any moment's notice. Right? And he like Adam 22 instigate these things.
That's what they do in life. Adam 22 was born to instigate and integrate beef between Crips, Bloods, Mexicans, blacks, in between gangs. He's their masters at aligning themselves, then washing their hands and saying, "Oh, this isn't right. Adam is getting caught for the shit." But he's not the only one. China Mac, he's an Aryan. Vlad, all of these dudes, and it ain't just white Bavarians. It ain't just white Bavarians.
Oh no. You got
DJ Academic.
You got black.
Yep.
And
go ahead.
Well, I'm just like, I'm just looking like, man, this whole internet is looking like outside of the it's looking like buffoonery to me. It don't make it's just buffoonery. They don't want nobody to see or hear the real because they be too caught up in this entertainment with elementary stuff, with kids stuff. Like, man, you supposed to be grown. Like, come on, bro, we gotta think different. I'ma listen to you. You telling me 1 × 1 is 2, and then I'm just looking at the fruits. You get on TV and say you was on the #1 movie in the country and you got $12,000.
Right.
Man, why would I even want to be involved in the industry like that? I'd get a regular job. So, like we said, like you said before,
I would be mad as hell if that happened to me.
For real, I ain't acting no more. Don't ask me to do nothing. You know, I want my money. That's what I want. For real. Now, the average person that's going to work, working hard, and the world looking down on, he make more money than that.
Yes.
He makes more money than that. So it's just better to be on some normal stuff, bro. Because being famous, that's what they getting paid to be, just being famous, but they famous for the wrong things, man. Like for misleading, and not being in their right mind. Incompetence. Dang, bro.
Incompetent by way of crackheadism.
Yeah, yeah. Straight up.
Didn't we
Straight
say
up,
you
bro.
had to be on drugs and opioids to believe this? Remember the picture with the monkey?
Yeah, yeah.
Man.
And everything they believe in was right there.
Facts.
Everything they believe in, evolution, all of that.
All the
Yes, sir.
stars and this one and this. This is just. It's a beautiful time to be alive, though. I came on to make fun of it and to show my class, like, hey, this is their new stooge. This is what they're using. The same tactics. His stories all seem made up or some. It's forced. And nobody wants to be forced to believe you. You know?
Right. If it's the truth, then this is just the truth. But this stuff is like, how you gonna prove that? How the stuff he talking about? How I'm gonna prove that I can remember being in my mother's womb? And then what purpose? What is that proving to me? That okay, you remember that? Okay, so what, bro? You know, like
No, he
it's
remembered
crazy.
another life he had before this one.
Yeah,
So,
like Billy Carson remember them aliens, them space aliens and stuff. I'm like, man, y'all tripping, bro. All of them. It's like a bad trip. A bad trip.
they
All
tripping.
of them,
All
bro.
of them is like a bad trip because they tripping. Tripping is on
They
drugs.
tripping hard on that dope.
On that dope. They smoke dope all day and all night. You smoke Reggie, that's the shit they don't like.
For real, bro. For real. They own it. And I'm like, man, bro. They own it. And the crazy part about it, you got people that when they see this type of stuff, they looking at this to be wisdom. Like, this not wisdom, bro. What did I learn from listening to this? I just learned you can't count. That's what I learned.
Oh, you know what? You know what
I
else
don't
is
know.
crazy though? You know what? You want to know what else? His spiritual basis is from who? Mr. Gray.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The psychedelics, that's part of it. You got the psychedelics, you got the evolution, the monkey mind, you got art, astro projecting.
Yep.
All of that.
Temporal death. Yeah.
Yes, sir. You right. All of that, man. So this he go to the Church of Sacred Mirrors in.
Bingo.
That's what they call it.
They call it what again? The Church of what?
The Church of Sacred Mirrors.
Told y'all.
So he on that. He with the CSM. Man, Kel, man, bro. Everything you break down, then we go to another level with it, and then it all come back. It's gonna be somebody that show us everything you was talking about in a live form. You know, I think that's wild, bro. All of that, man. They represent all that. And then the people that's in the Church of the Sacred Mirrors, they all in Hollywood. The man Gray's daughter is a movie actress. He might have, I can't think of the movies, but he might have been in a movie with her. So I'm like, man, this is crazy. This is crazy, bro. I'm like,
so
man,
they all
bro.
a
And
part
then,
of this.
yeah, that's a part. I think it's a prerequisite. You got to be a believer in this stuff to be successful with them. But then I can't even say they're successful. They just playing a role. Even when we looking at them, like it's a role. You're an actor. You're an actor. You know, his job is to be believable.
Facts.
It don't mean he right. He just got to be believable.
Right. And I'm saying I don't believe you. Prove it. Oh, I got this
For
patent.
real.
Fuck your patent. Prove it. Show me it right there. The machine. Show me the
For
machine.
real.
Yeah. Show me something tangible that works.
that boy gonna get a bubble, you know, one of them little bubbles with the little thing the little kids blow, and see in between them bubbles, that's me right there. This boy, I thought I was in between the bubbles. Yeah, hell no, that boy gonna get some dishwasher liquid and start making bubbles. Talking about I patented that.
I patent this,
Man,
y'all.
bro.
Look in between this. He gonna make all the bubbles and say, "Look at this. You see the space in between these bubbles? I patented this. I
That's me.
own the right." Now all the
Hey,
dishwashing
bro, that's it.
detergent gotta pay me
Every time a bubble is made,
every time a bubble
when
is
it's
made.
two bubbles is mine.
All y'all
One
little
time when it's
kids,
two, remember that.
all y'all, all y'all little kids out there that's finna enjoy themselves for summertime, blowing all those bubbles. You mothers and fathers just get those checkbooks ready.
For real. Dang, bro. That sounds like he just got a good way of speaking, but when you
I swear to
listen to
God.
what he said, it's dumb in the mug. Like, that's some dope thing stuff.
Every
For
time you blow
real.
a bubble, it's the bubble tax.
For real. That's that bubble man. You know? Bubble man.
This
That's that
nigga's the
boy,
real.
man.
This nigga's the real Grinch who stole Christmas. Nigga, the kids gonna hate this nigga for 3 eternities.
For real. That boy gonna say all the everything that got bubbles finna go up messing with Terrance house.
Soda, all the little fucking troll
Oh
incels.
man.
It's gonna be like, he's the greatest inventor of all time. Without Terrance, we wouldn't have soda, bubbles, dishwashing detergent. We wouldn't be able to wash our clothes without Terrance Howard.
Without For real, AKA Bubble Man, we couldn't do nothing without him, man. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, all the commercials of
Whoa.
those commercials of cleaning. Oh yeah, they gotta go. No more scrub. This nigga just
For
single-handedly
real,
just took us back to the Middle Ages with his fucking philosophies. Go ahead. Don't soap
I'm
make
like,
bubbles?
what? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
How you gonna patent a space in between the bubbles? That don't make sense. That's dumb as hell. Hey, bro, you high, bro. Chill.
That's like
Hey, stop lying, bro. Stop lying, bro.
You know what I'm about to
I was
do?
just thinking of this with my partner. He talking all this stuff. I'm like, hey, bro, you hot in the mug. You all right, man? You tripping.
You know what I'm about to do? I'm about to patent
What's that?
the space in between words when we speak.
Bam. There it is. Hey, he did. Hey, well, that's cool when they do it.
The
It's a
problem
problem
with
when kids do it. Yeah. Hey, let's make it work.
Anything, because it's not real language. It's just a bunch of like run on words. Real language speak the entire sentence with no spaces. That's how I'm gonna have y'all talking like a bunch of Babylonians. You just gonna say words like Muslims. Big long words of Z's and Y's and B's and A's.
For real, man. Like,
Remember that candy bar Abba Zaba?
Abba Zaba?
That's all they gonna eat. For breakfast, Abba Zaba. Lunch, Abba Zaba. And for dinner, Abba Zaba. And for dessert, you're gonna get a fucking cinnamon and strawberry power bar. They're running Olympics tomorrow.
For real, man. Like, dang, bro. That's real wild, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's real. The stuff they come up with, that, like, man. But when you say real stuff and you talk about real things, they think that they backward, kill. I have to remember that a lot of times. Like, okay, they brain don't run clockwise. It's counterclockwise. And then they about to start talking about gravity. They don't need, he gonna show he don't even know what gravity is.
How
like,
you gonna
man.
tax the fish? The fish make bubbles.
For real, the waterfalls when it splashes
This
with
is
the
a
ground
narcissist.
bubbles.
This
People
is a
can't
fucking
jump in the
narcissist.
pool.
He's a narcissist because he wants credit for things that occurs naturally. How you gonna patent the waterfall? TLC would have did that.
For real, they should have, but it's for real. Like, yeah, bro, you ain't invent nothing. You ain't invent
Just want
nothing.
to
What
sit
is that?
around and
That was
tell his
already here
kids, y'all
before.
see, without all this, without the space in between this bag of dog food, who's going to patent that next? Who's going to go next to the patent office to the patent something so dumb like fucking space in between words?
Man, bro, but that's what they do. They've been going to the patent office stealing since they opened. For real. They opened the patent office. That's what they been doing. Oh man, these great people made all these great things. They come up out the ground and made a patent office, bro. That's crazy, man. Everything. Dang. It ain't that let you know, like, dang, yeah, it ain't too much left. Y'all going in between the bubbles with it. God damn. For real. Damn, they took this already. I can't
What's next? That nigga said. Oh man, you know what I
man.
think, man? I think I want to patent the space in between bubbles. Let me see if that's patent. You see this weird looking ass nigga just.
And that boy like, oh, it's open. Here, take here's our $12,000 right here. This boy here
This
gonna give
nigga
up
went
all
up.
his check money for some bubbles. Damn. God, Hollywood boys weird. Them boys weird.
I don't think they ever played outside or nothing. It's just retarded. Why would you do that?
For real. Like, what is that? What is that, bro?
And then he gonna make a little science project like we gave a fuck of it on his kitchen table. Nigga, will you move this bullshit? We can make Legos and say we invented anything, bro. You could do that with Lego.
And then, like you showed, that was the Epcot ball design.
Yeah,
Man,
that's already the Epcot ball design.
We know that. Like everybody was saying, we know what that is, man. Cut it out, bro. We Universal 25. We know what that is for real. That's crazy.
Oh,
That's crazy.
I'm glad you brought this up because on my way out, it's scheduled for my next program is the end of Universe 25.
Yes, sir. We need that ending.
Yes,
for real.
So that is going to be a great politicized show on my new channel. So make sure y'all at least $1 or $5 contribution on the Patreon, so y'all can also get the links to my new channel and my shows coming up. It's more of a modern day podcast. We're not going back in history. We already here, but I do want to give the news in a way that our people can perceive it today. And the end of Universe 25 is right around the corner. There's something there's something called Project 2025.
Oh, that is right around the corner.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right around the corner.
Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about Project 2025 and why the whole world is afraid of 2025 and Project 2025 and the restoration of the Republic and the laws of God, of Scripture, and the nuclear family and the restoration of that thereof, and how that's playing a part in Project 25 that all Americans are afraid of, or every one of them.
They like, no, the World Fair is over.
Yes.
For real.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So they want us to think Trump is Adolf Hitler or somebody. No, just a big authoritative power coming in, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's about the superior law of the land, and that's a beautiful thing because I've been prepping my university for this for years now.
Yes, sir.
The restoration the restoration of the Republic, the end of Project 25. Make sure y'all not Project. What's the name? What do we call it? Universe 25.
Universe 25.
Yeah, and all the laws and amendments and the legal laundering machines out there that keeps black folk, the people of this land, down. yeah, those are ending as well. So we got a lot of things coming, a lot of things to discuss about Project 2025, and I hope to see each one of y'all in this chat room over there on my new channel. That way I can get monetized as well, just like Joe Rogan, little funny looking self. Shout out to y'all out there in the
Hey,
world.
straight up.
Anything you want to say, B?
Nah, Kev, just same as usual. It's Kev or nothing.
Yes, sir, my man B. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
One of my only callers too. Gotta love B for calling it in and being a part of my broadcast. Every chance that he get, he just takes the time to call in because these are the things we all are concerned about. So whether it's 1 or 20 people, I appreciate everybody who takes part in my chat, in my support group. Only thing is, on Coffee and Kush TV and the Urban Conservative, the link up to the StreamYard will be attached. So you'll be able to come on the screen and vocalize what you would like to say about Universe 25, Project 2025, and the things that we're going to be discussing. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And my Cash App supporters, my daily group, shout out to y'all, man. $1 a day. Keep the doctors away. Make sure y'all support y'all favorite podcasters out there. Don't matter who they are. If it's not me, you know, it don't matter. If it's your favorite one and they delivering truth from a perspective of honesty and pure-hearted, and you sense that because you're an adult, that they're truthful and being at least honest with what they believe, and support them. Because that's what YouTubers do. And you got to be brave to do it. So shout out to y'all out there in the world. Coffee and Kush TV, Cavro University. Thank y'all. And as always,